we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you that are still joining us, I will be moderating the chat box and Jess and I will be moderating the chat box and putting that link in there. I'm going to put it in there one more time. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome on a Saturday to learn Bitmoji virtual classroom. So I'm Anna Murphy. I'm the mathematics coordinator here at ICOE, and
I'm Jessica Ortega, the curriculum coordinator for ICOE. Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So our goal is this right here, right? You join so we can get something like this going. And so that's our goal. Walk you through a little bit of how to create this. Not a little bit, we're gonna walk you through how to create this and leave with some resources and a finished product. We're so excited. But as we go through today, we do have some norms for you. Be mindful of others. Please mute your mic if you're not speaking, just in case there's like a dog or some background noise. But if you want to engage with us, please feel free to do so. Use the chat feature, unmute yourself, let us know. We'll go slow, we'll show it multiple times. So don't feel overwhelmed if you're not techie, and I say that with quotations because we're all techie, we all use phones. There might be some things we can't answer. Like last time, we can stay afterwards. If you still have a question, you want to write it down, we'll stay after the meeting, after everybody signs off, and answer any last questions that somebody might still have, and that's okay. And then just come in with some willing to take some risk and celebrate any mistakes that we make. That's how we learn best. So I'm going to help you a little bit today. We are not going to use present mode just because we'll be using multiple tabs. So you're going to notice that we're going to show only in edit mode the slides. So if you haven't already done so, or you haven't seen this before, you're viewing Jess's screen, not mine, you're viewing Jess, and it says way at the top, it says, you are viewing Jessica Ortega's screen. Right next to it is a view options. I need you to go ahead and press side-by-side mode. So again, way at the top, you're viewing Jessica's screen, and it says view options and side-by-side mode. Go ahead and do so right now if you haven't already done so. And if the whole Zoom screen is taking over your screen, that's probably because it's on maximize mode. And if you're on a Mac, top left, or in a PC, top right, to minimize the screen. So again, you're viewing Jess's screen. And if you don't know, there is a bar that's not there unless you hover. Hover means that you hold your mouse over this bar right here to in front of the screen. If you hold that bar and move it all the way to the left, it'll make Jess and I really big, or the thumbnails really big, but it'll make the screen that we're sharing really small. So if you drag that all the way to your right, it'll make us thumbnails, but it'll show the whole screen of Jess's screen that you see right now. So that might help you as we go through today. It's a bar that you can slide back and forth. A lot of people don't know it's there, so we'd like to show screens to help people with the presentation. I hope that's helping you right now. Did that help some of you? Yeah? Thumbs up? Yeah? Yeah? I see some, okay, I see some. Some people are shaking their heads like, no, not really. All right, so this is what we're doing today. We're so stoked. We're so excited, especially on a Saturday that you're joining us to do Bitmoji Classroom. So we're going to walk you through how to get started. Like, where does this even go? How do I begin? Where do I grab these tools from? And through that, we're going to show you some tips and tricks to make your Bitmoji Classroom easier to assemble. Just little tips and tricks. And then we're going to help you link content to images to really make it interactive for your students. And then we're going to give you some ideas of how other people are using Bitmoji, ways that we've seen online and people have shared with us. And of course, a ton of resources for you to take back and try immediately or when you're ready as you prepare for the classroom, your digital classroom as we continue forward. Okay, so these are linkable on our slides. Again, that Bitmoji is down here. If you just joined us, I had 3 people just join us. So I put it in the chat box one more time, and I'll continue to do so throughout the presentation. So let's start with the purpose. We wanted to get started, and I'm going to use the left quote right here. Dear teacher, I may forget what you said, but I'll never forget how you made me feel. And our current reality right now is that we're going to start distance learning. And how do we build community with our students, especially when we're not together? Our hope is through Bitmoji Classroom that you can start building some of those community norms and community with your students through Bitmoji Classroom, something like a Bitmoji Classroom. And again, some of the examples that we're going to show you and ideas. This one quote on the right really stood out to us when we talk about how we know our students and how do we get to know them on a personal level, how are we culturally responsive in how we do so, and the idea that if we care about them, they know and they will believe it, and it's valuable for students, especially with the current reality and their social emotional needs and what's happening around, and even our social emotional needs as teachers, right? So that's our purpose today, is really to give you this general feeling from our ICOE, our Bitmoji classroom. So I'm going to start with the Chrome extension. You probably got an email from us that showed you how to do this Bitmoji Chrome extension. Okay. So I am going to walk you through how to do it and how to insert it and add it to your Chrome. We sent this ahead of time and we're going to show you. Unfortunately, we only have an hour, so we're not going to give you much time to do it yourself. We're just going to walk you through, but I want to show you an example. Everything we show you that we show you through live right now, there's already a GIF and there's pictures already for you with tips and tricks ready for you. So I'm going to pop out of this presentation and I'm going to walk you through how I would add the Bitmoji extension. Again, there was a screencast with a video of us showing you how to do it ahead of time, but we're going to walk you through all the steps. From now, we're just going to go on a tab and walk you through how to get started. So Jess, if you want to escape really quick. Thanks, Jess. All right, so I'm going to walk you through how to add that extension. If you haven't heard of extensions before, you are new to extensions, this might be new to you, so we're going to walk you through. Again, there's already a GIF on how to do it. It just takes it a little bit of a second because I'm controlling her screen from home as well. Oh, I apologize. I went to the wrong one, Jesse.
Okay, you got it.
All right, these right here to your right, if you can see my mouse on Jess's screen, those to your right are called extensions. They extend the capabilities of Google Chrome browser or Omnibox. Just extends the functionalities, and she has some extensions. You can see the little icons. One extension that you need for this to work is the Bitmoji extension. So if I wanted to find a Bitmoji extension, I would go to the Chrome web store. I would click on Chrome Web Store. And I would make sure that extensions is highlighted, as you see here. And I would write Bitmoji extension, type in Bitmoji extension. And here it is. And it should have an add to Chrome button here. Once I add to Chrome, it will automatically add it to my extension bar that you see here to the right here. And then I would log in with the email that you use to set up your Bitmoji, whether it be the one on your phone. Actually, that's the only way you can do that with the Bitmoji app. It's only an iOS supported, which means it's only for phones. You cannot do that online. If you use your Snapchat login, it'll be the same Bitmoji. I have two different Bitmojis accounts. I use my Snapchat for my personal use, and then I have my ICOE account that has for business use, and that one has a little business suit. So again, this is where you would do it, and you would log in. And we just wanted to show you that. Again, we already sent this screencast of how to do so, and it's also in the right here. It's in the presentation. Okay. Now we're going to show you how to get started. You might be asking, well, how do I get started? Well, once you have your Bitmoji extension, I keep doing that, Jess. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to open up a new presentation. A little tip, if you put slides.new, you don't have to go to your drive and create a insert or add slide presentation. You just go to the slide presentation. It's a new one, and it does it on your drive. So here, we're going to go ahead and show you, how do I get started? Where do I go? What do I do? Again, we're going to show you, walk you through All of these already have slides in the presentation that we're sharing with you. There's GIFs, which means it walks you through the steps, but we're just gonna walk you through how to do it and some different features. It's pretty cool. All right, so first thing I need to do, I have an empty slideshow. I need to add a presentation name, so I'm just gonna call this sample slide or sample. I'm going to highlight these text boxes because I don't want them and they're going to impede in what I'm doing right now. So I'm just gonna highlight and delete. Again, highlight and delete. And in case you don't know what we're doing, I'm controlling Jess's screen from my house. You can do that with Zoom if you're ever working with another teacher. This is her screen and her account that I'm controlling right now. All right, and that's available through Zoom. So I'm gonna go ahead and first do a background. The first step is I need something in the background to look like a classroom. So up here, there's a button called background. I'm gonna click on that. And I'm going to choose an image because I want the floor and wall background. I can do a Google image search and I can virtually use any background that is available. But I'm gonna check floor and wall. I spell and correctly. Wall background. And there it is. That's my first step. I need a background. So I'm gonna pick this one. It looks a little rustic and I'm a fan of Joanna Gaines, so that's where we're gonna go with. Done. There it is. I have my background, I have my floor, I can start inserting things. Google Slide Bitmoji is just pictures, it's just images. So once you layer images, it looks like those ones that you see probably on Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat. So again, here it is. First things first, I need to insert some images, right? I'm going to show you a couple ways. We are going to show you a couple, I keep saying we are going to show you a couple ways that we can do so. So I'm going to go ahead and insert an image. Way at the top, it says insert. Make sure everybody catches up to talk similar to Emojis. Yes, you can make your Bitmoji talk. There's a video at the end and I'll show you how to do that. I love that question. Yes, I just saw that question. All right, so I'm going to insert an image. So I go to insert. I'm going to click on image, and I'm going to search the web. Bear with me, sorry, I'm controlling her screen, so it takes it sometimes a minute to do. I click and it's like 3 seconds later. And I'm going to search for images. This opens a box to your right to insert some images. The first thing I'm going to do is insert a transparent whiteboard. I'm looking for transparent. I need to spell it correctly. See, that's why I'm the math coordinator, not the ELA coordinator. Whiteboard. There's a lag because I'm controlling your screen and it's like, I'm looking for transparent images, you guys, because I don't want the black or the white or the pink that shows up in the back, and I'm looking for a transparent image. I'm gonna hope that this one is it. If not, we can show you. I'm gonna grab it, click on it, and go insert. That's one way. I could just also grab it and drag it in and let go. And it is, it's a transparent image. So now I'm going to resize it, make it a little bit like this maybe. I'm gonna place it where I need it. And there we go. I'm starting to build my classroom, right? I have a floor, I have some walls, I have a plant, and I have a whiteboard that I can use for, and we'll show you what you can use that for. So I already have this search bar open. So I'm going to replace whiteboard because I already have the word transparent there. And I'm going to search maybe a chair. No, let's put a bookcase here. I think I'm gonna do the chair somewhere else. Maybe we need a bookcase. Oh, I like this one. I'm gonna drag it in. Let go. There it is. Okay. Maybe I put my bookcase over here to the right. Maybe I need a little bigger bookcase. Move it over to the right. And it's starting to come together. And all I'm doing right now is inserting images, right? I'm inserting transparent images so I don't have that background. All right, I'm gonna put in a desk now. I'm going to replace that word bookcase with desk.
Try standing desk, Anna. See what comes up with that.
Oh, yes, we can do a standing desk, and we have a purpose for that. Jess is awesome. She's reminding me. I'm going to put this green one that I like over here. I'm going to drag it in. It's too big. That's no way the desk was that big. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller by dragging those little squares that you see on the corners. And that's just to resize. I'm going to move it over to the right. And so you'll start to see that my Bitmoji Classroom is coming together. I have a whiteboard, a bookcase where I can put some books. I have a desk. But the thing is, I want to work now with the images that I do have, so you can see some of the features of the Bitmoji with the slides. So I'm going to grab this one. Let's say it doesn't match my color scheme. First of all, I can go ahead and resize, make it as big as I need to or as small as I need to. And I just grabbed the wrong one, so I'm going to press undo. Grab this guy, the desk, and I'm going to make him smaller. But you know what? It still doesn't meet my needs because I don't want a green desk. Almost all images, and I'll repeat that because a lot of people don't know this, almost all images can be recolored within slides. If I click on this and go to Format Options, I can recolor this and make it fit my scheme. Maybe black, maybe it's too dark. Yellow, sure.
The orange.
Orange. All right. So it's starting to come together, right? But maybe I don't want it this way. I want it to be flipped a different way. Like I find this one online. Nice, mind blown. Yes, isn't this cool? You can do that with any chair, any rug, and it makes it so much easier. Some of these little tips and tricks that make it so, that's how these experts that you see online do all this stuff. All right, so maybe I don't like it facing that way. I'm thinking my classroom and I want it over here to the right. I can also flip this as much as I need. I'm gonna right click. Right click is your best friend on slides. So I'm gonna right click that one, go to rotate. Guys, I can flip it horizontally. And now I have it flipping a certain way because I'm already envisioning what I'm about to do. What's making sense for me at the moment, right? So again, but let's say I did that. I flipped it, I moved it, but I can't get it right where I need it. Like I'm struggling. If you see, if I move it, it moves too much. Every image can be moved pixel by pixel. Now I'm again controlling her screen, Jess's screen, so I can't do this part. Jess, can you hold down shift and use your arrows and show us how to move pixel by pixel?
That's fine. All right, so I click on it, and what do I do next, Anna?
Hold shift and use your arrow keys.
Shift, arrow.
So you'll see she's moving it pixel by pixel.
And then I can move it up.
Yeah, move it up.
Move down.
Yes, if it's tedious to you guys, we'll show you some. The reason we're showing you that you're probably like, I don't want to get started and do it all by myself. We're not showing that for that purposes unless you really want to. I'm a geek and I love doing this, so I'll do this on the weekend. The reason we're showing you this is that once we show you some templates, what you can do and add to those templates is what makes it your own and makes it how you can make it work for you and your students. So again, we're showing you these tips and tricks if you don't have to get started. We have so many examples already ready, but once you start inserting your own images, these tips and tricks will help you get started, especially when I'm about to put in a book right now, and I want it in the exact same position. So again, that was shift and arrow keys. Hold down shift, use your arrow keys. I can change the color. Somebody was asking. That's in the format options. And if you need help with these instructions, remember we've already provided screenshots, GIFs. They're in the slides. I'm going to show you really quickly where they're at so you can see before we go to the next part. And just bear with us. There's a little lag. So again, there are GIFs, tips in the slides. We're just not working off the slides to give you guys how to do it. And there's GIFs already there for you. So if you need a little example of what we just showed you, you can go ahead and go to there as well. All right. So there's a thing about these image search options on slides. Sometimes they don't show you what you need. Sometimes you want to put a Flipgrid little, like mine. I have I think I have math is amazing. And I found this poster online and I want to put it in my classroom. We're going to give you some samples and you can add. So maybe I just want to search an image online on Google. I can open up a new tab. And I keep doing the same thing, Jess. Okay. And I'm going to search an image. Same thing, but this time I'm just going to put share. All right, and I'm going to click on images. And let's say I find a chair that I really like, right? But before that, I don't know if the background is actually transparent. So there's a tool in Google. If I click on tools, and remember, all these instructions are already screenshotted in the slides. And I go to color, I can search only transparent images. Now I have found transparent images. I like this one, so I'm gonna click on it. And I know it's transparent because of this right here, this gray and white little diamond pattern. I right click, copy image. Sorry for the lag, I'm controlling Jess's screen again. Go back to my sample slide that we're working on together, and I'm going to press right click and paste. Oh, it's too big.
Anna.
Yes, sir.
Can you go back a few seconds? When you were the share in Google in the images, what did you click so that you would make them transparent with no white background or anything? I can see the options, office, leather, executive, blah, 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 under images, but I don't know what you did to get those.
It's okay. It's tools right here.
Okay. Oh, it's because I have it minimized.
Oh,
okay.
no, that's fine. Tools, and under color, there's transparent.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem. So if you're looking for a chair and it's blue and you want to, because you have a theme going, that's how you could also search. So you guys saw that. I've just put in a transparent chair. But again, if I want to change the color, right click, format options, because you can do this with almost any image online. Jess, what do you think would go better? Brown to go with the theme?
Yeah, maybe a different one.
You don't like the brown?
I don't like that one, but that one's good. That one works.
All right, so you're starting to see our Bitmoji Classroom coming together. I'm going to show you one more thing because Jess is about to take over and show you some cool things. Up here, I'm going to look for this book because I want to add a book to my bookshelf, okay? I'm going to look for the book, The Day You Begin. So double click, The Day You Begin. See what that pops up. Let's see, let's put book. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, right there, perfect.
So I'm gonna, again, right click, copy image, go to our sample that we're working off of, right click, and paste on here. That book does not fit the bookshelf, which means I have to make it a little smaller. I'm gonna make it a little smaller again. Jess, can you use shift down and right, please?
Sure.
Right there? Wherever you want.
Yeah.
And I think Jess is gonna take over.
Smaller. Perfect. All right, thank you, Anna. So now we're missing our Bitmoji. So I want to add my Bitmoji, but I want to, let's start, since Anna just placed the chair there, let's go ahead and add a Bitmoji, and I'm going to be sitting down. So you click on your Bitmoji Chrome extension and you type in sitting. And here it is. So I found the one that I want, and I'm going to add her or myself on there. Here. There. And like Anna just showed us, you can flip the image, right? So you can go to rotate and flip horizontally. depending on how you want yourself being faced. So if you want to switch the direction, you can go ahead and do that way. So you have a sitting option, but maybe you just want to be standing. So I'm going to go back to that Bitmoji Chrome extension and I'm going to click on it. And there's a couple options that you can search for to make your Bitmoji standing. So the first one is pose. So if you type in pose, you'll get different options for standing Bitmojis. I can also type in photo. And I also get some other poses that are standing. So let me see, which one do I want to select for this? And let's say I want this one here. Okay, now I want my Bitmoji to be standing behind my standing desk. So I'm gonna move her there, and then I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna hit order. And when I click order, or I hover over order, there are a couple options I'm given. And the first one says send backwards and send back. On this one, I want to select send back, because if I send backwards, it's going to send her behind the whiteboard, right, Anna?
Backwards. If you send to back, it'll send her behind the whiteboard. Send backward is does one option at a time, one image at a time.
So I selected send back, and now I can just position my Bitmoji to kind of be standing behind my desk. So I have that there. Okay, and then you can move it around. It also helps if you crop your Bitmoji. So you see the image is really large. So if I double click, it'll give me the crop option, and I can just bring it in a little bit. So when I'm moving the Bitmoji, it doesn't make it so difficult because it's overlapping different objects. All right, so I have my Bitmoji there. Now, for the purpose of this, I'm gonna go ahead and move my sitting Bitmoji kind of to the side. I'm gonna work just with the standing desk. So I'm gonna move. And I love working with slides because I love that you can work with the outside. So don't just think about inside the box. You have additional space in the outside that you can also work with. So I'm gonna just push that one to the side for now. And the beautiful thing about your Bitmoji virtual classrooms is that now you get to make them interactive. So we get to add a little bit of text and links and some audio to our books. So that's the next step I'm going to show you.
I'm sorry, can you repeat how you made the area of the Bitmoji smaller so that, you know, like you made it smaller, but when I tried to do it.
Oh, the crop?
Yes, the cropping. Oh, it's cropping?
Okay. Yeah,
oh, okay.
So I think I double clicked, but if I were to just select and hit crop, it does the same thing. But if you just double click with your mouse, you're able to crop it. Did that help?
Yes, definitely. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Yeah,
right.
Double click. And then like I want to crop the top. And then it's kind of easier to move like that. Perfect. Thank you. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of text to my whiteboard. And so I'm going to make the whiteboard just a little bit bigger because somebody asked earlier, how do students see this? They'll be seeing it on their in their Google Classroom if that's the learning management system you choose. But when they actually view it, you want the text, if you're going to add some type of direction or interaction for them, you want it to be pretty large and visible to them. So now that I have my whiteboard, it's a little bit bigger. The next thing I want to do is I want to insert some text. So I would just go to Insert, Text Box. And the first thing I want to do is I want to add a date. So let's see, I already have some here. So let's say we are starting. So I have my date. So I have the date Monday, August 2020. And then I'm going to add some directions for the students. I taught 7th grade this past year, language arts. So I'm going to kind of stick to that theme. So I'm going to add another text box. So once again, I'll go a little bit slower here. I'll go to Insert, text box, and I go ahead and place the text box where I want it to be. I notice this bookshelf's a little off here, so I'm going to move it to the side. And now I'm going to type my directions for the student. Teachers are getting really creative with the way that they put the directions icons, and but for this one, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to put a list of directions that I want students to complete for this day.
Just letting you know we're at half an hour in.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so I have some of my directions here for the students. I'm gonna minimize that. And let's say that for this day, I want them to complete the following activities. They're gonna complete a their daily check-in. When I was doing distance learning, there was one. The first thing that students knew to do was to do their daily check-in. Regardless of us going asynchronous or synchronous instruction, they were gonna do their daily check-in. So if I want to attach that daily check-in lesson to these instructions, I'd have to grab that link. So for some of us, if you're familiar with forms, with Google Forms, you can create your check-in that way. And if I want to attach the directions, so let's say that for this one, click here to complete your daily check-in. I go ahead and grab that link, and just for purpose of time, I'm not going to show you how to go into the forms, but I'm going to show you how to link a form or a site to your text. So I would highlight the text, and there's a couple ways that I could do that. I can go to Insert, a link, and it would open up there. I could paste the link here and hit apply. And now that becomes a hyperlink. When the students visit this, they click on it and it takes them directly to that. If there's another way I can also do it, I can select, and on your toolbar here, there is a link option. And if you don't see it, just click on the 3 dots. Oh, here it is, link. I grab that link and I paste it in there. I realize I forgot. Let's see here. So I have that link. And I paste it here. Apply. Or I could also do the following. I could just select the text, right click, and the link. And then I place the link there, and it'll take me directly to that. The next thing I could also do is, let's say that I want to link the Flipgrid. So in this part of this activity, they're going to share, they're reading a couple chapters, they have to answer a couple questions using a graphic organizer, but then I really want them to have some meaningful interaction with their peers. So I'm going to give them a Flipgrid to share, and here's their Flipgrid. I'm going to follow those same steps. I'm just going to click link on here, and I'm going to click the Flipgrid link. Now, I would actually have to go into my Flipgrid to get that link. For the purpose of this PD, I'm just going to give you the flipgrid.com link. So then now you have that, and when students visit, they get to click on that link and they get to work immediately on that. You can also click your books. So if you're creating libraries, you can add the link there. So Anna already added a book for us, and it was the day I begin, or the day you begin. And I want to include the audio for that. So all you'd have to do is open up a tab, go to YouTube, and search for that book.
What is 3 plus 4?
The day.
Check your answer here to earn.
Once I find that read aloud, I click on it. I go ahead and grab that link. I copy it.
Welcome to Brightly Storytime.
And I bring it back to my book. So this is a very similar process to how I just showed you to link the text. Click on the book, select link, or click on link, and paste it. Hit apply, and now you have an interactive link for your read aloud. So when students log in, they're able to click on that book if that's part of the assignment or the activity you want them to do for that day. So you have those couple options on how to make it interactive. You can add more books. You can add icons. So I've seen a lot of this also. If you want to add, instead of putting it in your directions and you want to add the link, this is similar to the process that Anna just showed us with the Google search. You can add some of those here. And obviously you can place them in different directions and so forth. So in this section, we just went over how to make your Bitmoji Classroom interactive by adding text, clear directions, and linking your books to audio. So it gives students that opportunity to also listen to those. And in this next section, we want to show you now how to use a really cool app to remove the background from images. So let's say that I use the features that Anna showed us with the search, insert, image, search the web here, but I'm not able to find that furniture piece or that image that I'm looking for. I can do another, I can use another application. So for this step, I'm going to be using an app called Remove BG, Remove Background. And I'm going to open up another window here so that I can see what I'm looking for. Let's say I want this IKEA round table. Images, and I search, and this is the one I want. Right, so I'm going to go ahead but I'm not going to use the feature that Anna taught us, the transparent, because let's just say it's not coming up. I can't find it. So once I find that, I'm going to right click and I'm going to save image as, and you can save it in your desktop. All right. So once it's saved, I'm going to go back to that app, Remove BG, and I'm going to upload that image. So I'm going to open it up, and the image is right here. I'm going to open, and voila, it should remove the background, hopefully. I think there's a lot of us on here. There it is. So now it's completely removed the background. I'm going to go ahead and copy the image, and I'm going to bring it back to my classroom. I'm going to paste, and there it is. So now I have my table that I can work with and so forth. So I like using this feature because there's a lot of times where we want to personalize it and we just can't find that image. So for example, I have this here, right? I'm a big fan of these little markers, and I had a friend who gave me this, and I want to include this in my classroom. So I would use the same application. I would go ahead and upload the image. I had already sent the picture to myself. I follow the same process. And now I've removed the background of that. I'm gonna copy the image. I'm gonna go back here and paste, and now I can have this on my desk. I love these markers. My students love them. Every time I bought them, they would grab them, they'd disappear, and I didn't mind. They loved them. So we have there.
Sorry, would you mind reviewing that step one more time to remove the background with that app? I couldn't follow as quickly as I like.
Sure. So we have, let's say that you already grabbed the image, right? So I search the image, I right click on that image, and I'm going to save as, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. Now that I have the application open, I'm going to upload the image, find it in my desktop, click open, and then from here, I just right click, copy image, and go back. And we also have that GIF in these slides for you. So it guides you back through that step. I know it may seem we're going a little bit fast, but it's just because of time. So you can go back and rewatch it again.
Yes, can I address 3 different questions?
Sure.
Somebody commented that they can go to their classroom and take pictures of their classroom and do a virtual, and I said, yes, absolutely, with Remove BG. And then somebody had addressed, how would you share this with students so they can't edit? And we will probably talk about it towards the end on how you share, but really quickly, Google Classroom, and you don't give them editing access, just viewing access. Like you can only view our slides. You can't really edit it because we only gave you viewing access. And the third question is, they want to know how I put my Bitmoji Classroom behind me. But I know you're about to do that, so I just wanted to address that question.
That is such a cool one. Maybe I think you had that section at the end, right? So we'll go ahead and show them that. Yeah, because those are the little tips that you can do that. So this is how we also, at the beginning of our slides, we included some of our laptops. This one's actually my personal laptop, and I was able to use that Remove BG application to take a picture of my laptop and insert it into my classroom. So just a quick little tip. So once again, we went over the app Remove BG, and you can remove any of the background. And I love that individual who just shared to really personalize and take actual pictures from your classroom. So that, I can't wait to see that. You're gonna have to share that with us. So there's just a quick way, and like Anna mentioned earlier, we're just showing you some tips and tricks so that when you find a template, because we are including several templates in here, you can take those classrooms, but you can also start to use these other applications like Remove BG and a couple of the tricks that Anna showed you to make it easier to manipulate all the objects in your Bitmoji virtual classroom. And for the next part, we're going to go back to the presentation. And I believe we're now going to go to, we're going to switch gears a little bit. So you saw a little bit of an interactive session on how we walked you through creating the actual Bitmoji classroom and personalizing it. In this next section, we wanted just to give you a couple ideas of some really innovative or creative ways teachers are using their Bitmojis. And Anna and I attended a training recently, and one of the teachers had created postcards for their students with their Bitmoji, and the postcard looks like this. And she actually sent it to all of our students. I'm going to just increase the size so that you can kind of see it here. It looks like this. I can't mask how excited I am to welcome you back, Mrs. Gonzalez. We don't know Ms. Gonzalez, but we're going to give Ms. Gonzalez a shout out for being so creative. And we were so inspired that we tried to recreate our own, and we just wanted to give you access to it. So if you click on this link here, we thought, okay, what if we team teach, Anna, and you're teaching math and I'm teaching ELA? Obviously, we may not have the opportunity to send this out to our students because of time, right? If we didn't have time to send the postcards, but we can easily just create it and send it out to students via Remind, Class Dojo in their Google Classroom, so they can see, or we can even print it out with their and send it home with the resource packet. Yeah. Right? Anna had said that.
They're about to pick up the packets.
Yeah, if you're going to prepare students with anything, this may be a cute little touch that you can add into the resource packet and send it with them. That was just a quick little idea there. And then Anna, just let me know how we're doing with time. There's another one here. I won't go too much into depth with it, but there's for back to school night, a good friend of mine, Lisette, had shared this with me years ago. And I think it was from Pinterest, and it was a little, maybe I have to click on it here. A little note. So this was the original idea for parents, thanking them and letting them know how they're teachers too. And so when Bitmoji came around, I'm like, oh, how cool, I'm gonna add my Bitmoji. And then I did all those little tips and tricks that we just showed you to add the little apple there. So if you like that template, you can just make a copy. But I thought this was such a wonderful way to capture our parents' hearts and just let them know how important they are, especially now more than ever. So if you like that one, you can copy it, you can tweak it, make it your own. And then we also wanted to show you another idea that we saw, and teachers are creating norms, video conferencing norms using Google Slides and their Bitmojis. We shared the one that was shared with us. And so if you click on the link, you'll have access to all of these. You'll see that this teacher created their video conferencing norms using Google Slides, and they personalized it with their Bitmoji. So if you would like to use this one, all you have to do is File, Make a Copy, and then it'll make a copy, put it in your drive, and you can start to make changes to that. And one of the really neat tips she shared with us was that you can actually download it as a PDF or print it. So let me guide you through that process real quick. And this is also in the video. So you have these quick gifts for your future reference if I'm going a little bit fast. So let's say that I wanted to send this out with that resource packet, or I want to send it out via Classroom or Dojo for all parents to see. All you need to do is go to File, down to Print Settings and Preview. And then where it says here, one slide without notes, you click 6. And now it's a little poster. So it puts all your slides together into one page. You can either download it or print it. The downloading feature is really neat because this is where you can actually send it out via whatever learning management system you're using, Classroom, Seesaw, or so forth.
Canvas.
So that was a really cool little tip that we learned from her. And then some of the other ones that we've used or we've seen teachers use is use your Bitmojis to personalize your feedback for students. And I've given you a couple examples here. We're not going to be able to show you step by step, but I will show you the one where if you're working with slides. So let's say you give students, they're having a collaborative assignment in Google Slides, or it's independent. And let's say that this is their work here. You can go ahead and provide them with feedback. So earlier I mentioned how Slides is so flexible. It's such a great tool because you can think of the outside space. So if I want to give them some feedback, I can just include this table on there. And I can have them self-assess their work. I can give them some feedback, and then I can include my Bitmoji there. So once again, all I'd have to do is click the Bitmoji. And we gave you some examples of some positive feedback you can give them, but like if I wanted to look for this one, I type in Bravo, I'd pull it out, here we go, and I would resize it and it would go there. And the reason I'm using the outside space for this is because if all of their work is showing here, I don't want my Bitmoji to be on their work or my feedback. So think of the outside space for that. You can do the same with Google Docs. So if you click on that link, it was just a really quick example of how you can follow the same process, but in a Google Doc.
Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
52, just letting you know.
Awesome, thank you, Anna. We're gonna go through this next piece a little quicker. And then the other part that we wanted to share with you is the power of Bitmoji to build community and relationships, strengthen those relationships within your team. So I am new to ICOE. I'm a new curriculum coordinator, and I have not met many of my colleagues. So this was a little activity we decided to do as a team, where we placed our ICO logo, and then we, each one of us added our Bitmojis to kind of showcase our team. But it wasn't so much about that activity that I think we all loved. It was what happened in the process. So as we came together, we laughed so hard. I had not laughed so hard in so long. And mind you, I don't know many of my colleagues. I've never met them in person. It's just been via Zoom. So then we created this, once this little logo was created, somebody else is like, oh, well, let's use it for one of our email signatures. And then another idea, I think it was Anna, she's like, let's go ahead and make some Bitmoji with t-shirts. And all this is not new. Many teachers have been doing this, but we were able to experience firsthand how powerful it is to kind of bring us together. And the reason I wanted to share that with you is because going into this year is going to be difficult. I know I did distance learning this past year, and now I'm outside of the classroom, but I can't help but think of our new teachers who are coming into the profession, or new colleagues as our sites are shifting and we have new colleagues, and how difficult it is to collaborate. But then it's not if we start to use tools like this, slides to collaborate, or a Bitmoji to bring and build some community. So just another idea for you to take back to your site, your district, your team. And then here's another one I wanted to share. I had the pleasure of working at El Centro Elementary School District. So shout out to all of our teachers and educators who are here with us today from El Centro. A few of us got together and came up with this idea. This was not my own, it was a team effort. And we decided to do a virtual Spirit Week for our staff and for our students. So I'm gonna click on that one so you can see it real quick. And we used the same idea of the Bitmoji. We could have taken our El Centro Elementary School District logo, but we just put the text in there, and then we started to add our Bitmojis to it. Obviously, we worked on the side to come up with the themes. And Yvette, you're here with us today. I know she was a big part of this and in creating what theme days we were going to have for those days. But such a powerful activity because we were able to build community within our teams. I was able to connect with teachers in El Centro I hadn't even connected before. But we also were able to do this with our students. So I have a little model here of what the end product looked like. I was doing it myself because we were doing it as a team, and we were sharing it with our students as well. So I have, as many of you saw at the beginning of the training, I have twin boys and they're 3 years old. So it was such a great way for my colleagues and the students' parents to see a little bit of what my life looked like at home during this time. So if you're interested, go ahead and make a copy. Once again, file, make, copy, and you can use it with your own district if you like, or you can make the necessary changes. And then the next part, oh, this is a really cool trick that I learned along the way. So let's say that, and for students too, for yourself, for your students, let's say that I love the way that this slide came out, and I want to download it as a picture. I want it as an image because I want to share it out to my parents on Dojo or Classroom. All you have to do is select that slide here and go to File and Download as PNG image or JPEG. It'll download it for you, and it'll actually make it into an image, so that way it'll be easy to send out to your students. So that was a cool little tip, and the tutorial is in there. I made this little gift for you to reference later.
Hey, Jess.
Go ahead, Anna.
Jess, if you're downloading it, once it's downloaded as a PNG and it's on your computer, right now you see us, I have it as my background. Your students can set that as their background if they create a virtual room. Think about a little equity and access, how those students, they can create their own bedroom. So then if you upload it, which means if you go to video options, you can use it as a background for Zoom. And that's what we were showing you in this next slide, is just a way for them to create that virtual background for themselves, they can make up their own bedroom. That would be another way to help the students build a little community, right?
Yeah, I love that idea, Anna. And you could see it on Anna's back of her virtual screen. It's her actual little classroom. I love it. So we have about 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then that's it. We have 2 more slides, and then we're going to be done. And you guys, again, can stick around. Been answering your questions on the chat as you saw them. And if you didn't get a chance to see the chat, we are recording this. This will be uploaded to our ICOE webpage. We will also send you the slides on Monday morning with the links, and we will also send you that video. So if you need to go back and look, but all the slides have GIFs, which means it has tutorials, it has screencasts and images. But we'll finish with this right here. There's another way for students to develop their sense of community is to have them design their own locker so you can get to know them. So I went ahead and designed my own locker with Starbucks, a math graphing calculator, my MacBook, some hiking sticks. I love to hike. And on top you see Pythagoras and Einstein fighting over c² because I'm a big nerd when it comes to math and geeky stuff. So this is another way of students building their community. There is a link to the slides there that you can use. And we want to finish with this right here. We gave you so many templates. At the beginning, We were showing you the how-tos. It doesn't mean you have to start from scratch. Start with one thing and then add your links. Find one on that PD library that really speaks to you, then add your own links and make it personal, but please don't feel like you have to start from the beginning. Reach out to us if you have any questions, but all those templates, and if you really, really want to follow these Bitmoji craze teachers, Facebook has a group that has so many resources. It's so many, I couldn't even go through them all. They're amazing resources. Let us know, as always, if you need help from us. Somebody wants a math joke? You guys know why they're
Anna, can you give me a sec?
Yeah.
So I wanted to give out a shout out to Evie. She's here with us today. She's from Imperial. She shared all these templates. And she's like, Jess, I already have all the templates from this actual Bitmoji craze educators. Educators are so wonderful sharing. So when you create something, share it back. And Evie, thank you for sharing that with us so we can share it also with everybody else. We really greatly appreciate that. All right, we need your math joke, Anna.
Thank you, Evie. Oh yeah, we had that little video. Why did the decimal not marry the fraction? Do you guys know? I've been using that lately because it's a funny one.
Let's see what
Why? He didn't want to convert. One last thing that is so cool. Jess is going to press play for you. You can get your Bitmoji to talk and say whatever you want.
What are we going to do today?
That is an app on your phone. You can get your Bitmoji to do anything you want and say whatever you'd like. I hope today was valuable for you and you have all these resources. Please feel free to reach out. Stay if you need to have any last minute questions. Other than that, thank you for joining us on a Saturday. You guys are amazing and we wish you the best as you start getting ready for the year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Stay safe. We are here. Reach out to us.